the other group, so you've got McDaniel, you've got Monken and Schwartz. The other pot is these young guys that are pretty unproven. Well, they're really unproven. National NFL analyst Ross Tucker with the thoughts on some of the young offensive-minded coaches the Browns are looking at.
I have no problem with anyone trying to take somebody from the McVay tree. You know, the McVay-Shanahan tree and what those guys have done, it's so impressive that if you told me, hey, we're going to take a young guy that we believe in, I actually just watched this video about Shieldhouse and all the stuff he does for McVay. You guys have probably seen it.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
So that's exciting to me. And then the more I talk to people about Udinski, and it's interesting, he's a suburban Philly guy, like Stefanski actually, and I called one of his brother's games in college. His brother was, I think, maybe the state player of the year as a quarterback at North Penn. So that's impressive to me as well. People rave about Udinski, and what Jacksonville just did is super impressive. So I would say out of those guys, I would lean more Udinski because, you know, Shieldhouse and what they've been doing, you know, with McVay, they've been good for a while now. So that's not like, I don't even know how long Shieldhouse has been there, but it's not like he was part of the turnaround, I don't think. Whereas Udinski just totally turned the whole Jacksonville Jaguars program around, which is what you want to have happen in Cleveland.
That's fair, but they had a former number 1 overall pick at quarterback in Trevor Lawrence. Now, Trevor Lawrence played significantly better. I guess the question is, how much did Udinski have to do with that? We've heard Trevor Lawrence talk about him. But even more important than that, let me set this out for you, Pete. So you bring in this first-time offensive-minded head coach who hasn't called plays before. He's going to be in charge of the 53-man roster, getting up in front of the thing. You're going to ask him to call plays and develop a quarterback. And you're going to have the sideshow that has been the Browns. A couple years ago, it was Deshaun Watson. Last year, it was Shedeur Sanders. There is always something that seems to be going on in Berea that's a distraction. And you're going to ask a guy who's already trying to figure out how to do something he's never done before to deal with that in addition to it. That's why the young guys scare me.
Well, I think part of it is don't ask them to call plays if you can help it, because most of the guys they're talking to haven't. So why start now? I mean, I get it. That's always the appeal. We want a head coach who's going to call plays, but like, to your point, they have a lot to deal with. They have to be a head coach. And that's, by the way, the fundamental question with all these guys. All I hear is how great Udinski is, or some of these guys, and they're genuinely interesting. I've read up on Udinski. I've read up on Dan Pitcher, and I remember watching Shieldhouse play quarterback for Illinois. And he was part of Matt Campbell's staff at Iowa State. There's a lot of these guys out there that are really interesting. But the fundamental question that you don't know is, are they a head coach? They could be very good at all these other things, but are they a head coach? So let them figure out being a head coach, and don't worry about trying to make them call plays. Now, they may come in and say, I want to call plays, and if that's the case, so be it. But that's a risk they are now willing to take because of all the things they're trying to do. But I'd be more focused on the leadership qualities, being able to have a scheme, adaptable scheme, something that's going to work and obviously make the offense better, being able to teach it effectively, and then hiring a staff. Play calling is so far down on the list of things I'm concerned with. All those other things are way more important.